Hello everyone, we are back to CSCI 301 and we are talking about regular expressions and file input and output. Now up here on the screen you have a source, an online tester, and a tutorial for regular expressions. This online tester is kind of nice. We'll take a quick look. This online tester is nice. We'll take a quick look. There we go. Sometimes you just got to get his attention. Okay. And you can test things out like my test string is Word. Okay, and it does match the W. No matches. A-E-I-O-U. Yes, it does have a match. And if you want a cheat sheet, it's got a cheat sheet right there. So anyway, that's the expression tester. That's kind of nice that if you have a word that you know is supposed to work with it, and you can try your regular expression till it works. Okay, the tutorial here is if you get really stuck and you need to just go back and just back up and push, as we say, you just got to go back and learn, walk through an example to understand how something works. And it basically goes through, it tells you all the meta characters and special sequence, all the stuff that you never do remember, so you have to look it up. You find all function is an important function. We'll be using that. So, going back, alright, I got closed out, but that's fine, I'll get back in it. And see if it remembers to put me back where I was. It does. Kind of. Okay, here's our program we will run. I'll just go ahead and copy it. Okay, import re. Re is for regular expression. You notice it's a module, and you've got the explanation right there. And it's got all sorts of packed all sorts of full of vitamins. You can read those. Okay, the file in we have here. Here's input output. We'll go to this directory. Okay, in this directory you notice I have, this is where you have the code along. You have words, words.txt. You have, this is where, this is a program that we wrote. This is the output, and we have something with Word we'll be doing. KGV is a text version, the King James Version. We won't be using that right now. Let's go back. Okay, so we have a wordle.txt in there, so we're calling file in. That's a text input output wrapper. That is to say we're expecting that to be a text file. And here we're using the file in read lines. Now, nice thing about that reads all the lines in with a carriage return in it. That way you don't have the whole file as one big mass that you got to dig through. Now, just to see how well our regular expressions work, this was a regular expression from the bash grep exercise. There was one word to it, and it's one of the now I have to go back and do it in the go back and update in the other one. But anyway, and what happens? You had an E here. You had what here was here couldn't be any of these letters. You had an O here, and similar discussion here, and the word ended up being elope. So what happens is hopefully if we run this in Python, we'll have one word. It will give us the word elope. No, don't want Python 3. We'll run we didn't save it. Following the last order given. All right, let's try this again. Okay. It did give us a low, but it gave us below and detox, so it gave us 3 lines instead of 1. The lesson here is that while the regular expression syntax is very similar with all the languages, the implementation varies somewhat. Now what happens here is if I know it starts with an E, it's easy to denote something that starts with an E. So I just added that it has to start with an E. Let's see if that's enough to let it zoom in on it. Yes. It says, given that it starts with E, it's easy to say what it starts with, it's easy to say what it ends with. Getting a letter like the O being in the 3rd position, that's a little bit more complicated. Now fortunately for your lab, you don't have to do that. You just have to find 3 consecutive vowels anywhere in there, and that's fairly easy to do. So anyway, that is the O. And here's where we loop through each of the lines, and there's the find all. The pattern's right here. The line is each, and this is a dummy variable for the loop. And here you say ignore case. And it says if it matches, if you do find something, print it out, and then it closes it out. Anyway, this should get you started in the lab. I hope it helps, and happy programming.